Trash, rubbish or litter. Whatever you want to call it, it has become one of the biggest problems the Earth is facing today. The huge amount of litter in the ocean is a problem, and I want to figure out how it's getting there and what is being done to stop it. Inventions are being made, companies are being created, and the world leaders are being asked to take action. What can people do for themselves? Over the course of this documentary, I'm speaking to some of the people who are taking a stand against rubbish and are doing what they can to help. What exactly are they doing, and how are they doing it?
We did one here and we had about 40 or 50 people turn up, which was great to see because obviously nothing had really been done like this before here, so we thought it would be good to give one a go.
Someone who is looking after the sea is Dominik. He created a wildlife fund in 2013 when he was 12 years old and is now running a drop-in beach clean and go to beach. It has been happening every month for about a year now.
So we were perfectly happy to do it ourselves, but we received interest from people wanting to do it, and it just seemed that the community wanted to get involved. People every day might walk around seeing litter, might notice it and want to do something about it, but might not have the opportunity to. So by us setting up this beach clean, we gave the community a chance to get involved, and the everyday person decided they wanted to do something about it. It just gives people a chance to sort of voice their opinion, and even though it's a tiny way on the global spectrum, it allows people to come and do something about it, just in their own little way.
Why is it so important to do this?
Well, obviously, like local beach clean events, obviously all stems back to the environment. So, in recent years, plastic and beach littering has become a huge problem, and it's just nice to feel like I'm doing my part. Like I've seen obviously around the world how the issue's become so much of a problem, and to sort of see it in your local area is a whole different thing. So I just wanted to get involved and sort of make a change, and thankfully the community's been behind me the whole way. There is I've been sort of happy with the sort of downward trend of litter we've been seeing here, but obviously any amount of litter is still a problem. Like just because it's decreasing doesn't mean it's not, the problem's gone. So yeah, it is frustrating that we have to do this at all. But again, it's just nice that we can actually make a difference, because since we started we have seen a decrease in litter, but obviously it is still there, and I don't think the problem will ever go away. Cool, so this is showing from January 2018 to January 2019. So this blue line, each point is for a month, and was the total weight of litter collected. So this was a bit of a freak month because this was when we had some severe winter storms, and that brought out quite a lot of rubbish. But as you can see, there's a general downward trend, which is always what you want to see. Just after winter, like when we normally get quite big winter winds and winter storms, that's quite bad. But we're coming up to the worst time. It's the summer really. As soon as the Easter holidays start and as soon as the summer holidays start, when people come with their barbecues and come leaving stuff everywhere, it always happens. Barbecues get left all over the place. People just will eat whole picnics and just leave it by the bin, and obviously that'll get blown around. So people if everyone had a slightly better attitude towards their own litter, it'll be much better. But I think most people have got the attitude of someone else will come and fix it for them. But if everyone thought they could fix their own problems, it would make it a lot better. People might not always think that they have the opportunity to do it. Like even if there's a local clean or local beach clean where they are, they might not think that that's something they can get involved in. But just showing people that they can get involved, even with tiny projects like this or with much larger events, there's always somewhere you can get involved with helping your environment and helping to clean it up.
Things like these 1 in 3 species of marine mammals can entangle in litter. More than 8 million tonnes dumped into our oceans every year. But it's just, people had no concept years ago.
Why does it matter if it gets into our oceans? This is Krish Marshall. She's a coastal ranger for the New Forest National Park Authority. She's going to explain exactly why it is such an important issue and why we need to take action.
It's really important that we clean these little bits up because they get caught in the seaweed, they get caught in the sand, amongst the rocks and the gravels, and that's where all our little birds are feeding. They'll sort of feed for all the insects and the isopods and things in the sand. So they're actually feeding through all these plastics and ingesting a lot of the plastics. Also, we have the larger marine mammals that are picking up plastics on a daily basis and eating them. So that's causing problems like obstructions in the guts, or they're just not eating the right kind of foods to make them grow fit and healthy.
Start with, so we've got a plastic bag. So classic plastic bag looks like a jellyfish to a turtle, because if that's floating on the water, you've got the tentacles hanging down, they're looking up through the water. that is the classic, plastic bag as a jellyfish for a turtle, which is why they ingest it.
We can't clean the seas, we know that. The seas are too contaminated now. There's too much plastic in the ocean. And by taking plastic out the ocean, we're also affecting the balance of like the zooplankton, the microplanktons in there. So we don't want to do that. What we've got to do is stop it getting into the oceans in the first place. So that is behavioural change about how much we're using, and education. So going around telling people that, you know, they shouldn't be dropping litter. It may seem a harmless activity, but actually it causes a lot of problems. So we really need to be doing it and tackling it from all sorts of areas.
So these are primary plastics.
Okay.
Okay, so these are manufactured in this shape. They're different, as you can see. There's some that are quite thick, some are very sort of dish shape.
Okay.
And they're actually used, they're manufactured like that and then sent off to be made into whatever.
Okay.
So they're known as our primary plastics.
Okay.
And they'll come off container ships. When something breaks down, these are what you call your microplastics. So these are things from other particles that have broken down into smaller pieces.
I see.
So that's actually a bead. So that's a nodule that's been formed into a bead. But these things actually break down into smaller and smaller pieces. So these are your what we call microplastics.
Okay.
So that's the difference. So these are secondary plastics.
Yep.
They were originally something broken down into smaller plastics. The nodules are primary things that are made to go into being manufactured to whatever.
Right. I see.
How do you see the difference between them? Like, because they look quite similar to me in a way.
So a nodule is completely spherical, is round, is smooth. As I say, it can be a couple of different shapes. It can be quite thick like that one. All right, but they're predominantly, they're all round in a separate shape, whereas these, you can see they're irregular shapes. And part of a straw. I mean, who knows what that was part of. That's something like a dog's ball or something, or a rubber ball that's all been broken up. And you've got your bits of polystyrene. And these are all the things that the birds eat. So when you get these tiny bits of polystyrene that almost break up as individuals, they look like nodules as well.
So the chemical release from plastics is a big issue. So certainly in the marine environment, when you've got a whale that's feeding a calf, so much of that chemicals now is coming through in the colostrum, in the mother's milk, that the calves are actually being contaminated with those chemicals to start with, and a lot of them are now dying. So it is a real problem. It's not just something that's happening thousands of miles away, it's happening here on our coastlines, here in the national park, here in the UK.
Just don't want you touching that handle because I think that bag is contaminated. It's contaminated.
Someone who has realised the problem with litter is Julie and Drew. Drew has been concerned about the environment from a young age, and for over a year now, him and his mum has been going out litter picking in their local area. What made you start?
Well, I was at Brighton Beach after we had gone to the aquarium, and we wanted to just have a little walk around, and literally the beach was just covered in litter, and it made me so upset.
It was about year 3. I started properly talking about it, but I think at Brighton Beach when I started litter picking, I think that was about end of year 4. So yeah, after infant school kind of.
So you were 6 years old?
Well, that's when I was wary of it, but when I started litter picking I was much older. Yeah? Oh, cool.
And how often do you do this?
Like, we go out with our friends every month, but we normally do them like once every 2 weeks down the river, just check out if it's all okay and there's not much litter.
Because it is good that we're doing this to help, but it would be amazing if everyone could do it to help, because then we could clean up everything a lot quicker, because there's a good majority of people helping, but we need everyone to help kind of. But first of all we need everyone to stop dropping litter, because that will be, because that will just stop it building up, because the thing is when we pick it up, next few weeks there's more there. So yeah, if only you can mind control everyone and be like, stop littering, and then everyone would stop, but I guess it's not it's not as simple now.
Do you ever become frustrated with constant need to clean up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like I'm at home. You know when you tidy up and then you walk in a room and it's messy again. And I feel like that. You can go out and think, oh, I picked up here the last week and why is it dirty again? Yeah. It's very frustrating, isn't it? I keep seeing all the stand-up paddleboarding. You think, yes, that's what I need. I just need to get over there and I need to get that bottle. But they're quite expensive. In the summer, we'll just jump in.
Well, we do go snorkeling down here in the summer, and we see loads of fish and stuff. It's really cool fun. But the good thing is we barely see any plastic in the water, that is. But it's normally on the banks and stuff like that. But the thing is, it will get washed into the water if we don't pick it up. And of course, it will lead to the ocean. And yeah, that's how the big Pacific islands of plastic build up. Have you seen those? Basically it's a whole island of plastic. It is literally made up of plastic. It's in the middle of the ocean and it's just horrible, and the only thing living there is like seagulls, stuff like that, just trying to get food. But it's just horrible. So best thing we can do is try and prevent it from getting into the ocean. So this is the best place we can go to litter pick, because it's just all like the ticket to getting to the ocean. So
Drew's a budding oceanologist as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
He wants to
be a marine biologist
work with
from older.
anything in the sea.
Yeah.
So we need to look after it so that he's got a sea to look after when he's older.
Do not pick up any items that cannot be easily identified or are clearly hazardous.
This is Peter. He has been litter picking almost every week for the last 7 years around this local area. Today he's out with volunteers from the local community to help clean up in the streets and stop litter at its source. So why is it so important for the local community to get involved?
To get people involved in the local community like we are today as part of the Great British Spring Clean is very important, because people actually start seeing the problem that they don't often notice. I just spoke to one person this morning and they said, you know, for example, about cigarette butts. I said, well, they're poisonous. They get into our oceans. So it's educating people and getting people to start to see the problem. We need to look down sometimes and actually see how much litter is around and say, what can I do?
Can you tell us a bit more about the cigarette butts?
Cigarette butts are an interesting problem. They are the most littered item in the UK every single day. What is in the butt of a cigarette butt is microplastics. And we've not only got the poisons that are in there from the cigarettes, but what's happening, people are often using drains to use as rubbish bins. It goes down into the drain, into our rivers, into our seaways, into our oceans, and fish are now eating it. We're actually finding we're eating actually cigarette butts and the residue of them when we eat fish. So we need to become responsible. We've had quite a morning this morning with the 3 litter picks. 17 bags and rubbish up on Netley View. So this is got to be, how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Probably the same number of bags and even more rubbish up here of just people throwing stuff away. I mean, some of this is just fly tipping, which is totally illegal. I mean, any littering is illegal. Anyway, we've got some more bags to add to this from the Shore Road litter pick.
Do you ever become frustrated with the constant need to clean up?
I become frustrated like others, because sometimes you feel I'm not getting anywhere. This isn't working, but that doesn't stop me. I've seen a need, and sometimes you've got to fill that need and do something about it. So I'd encourage people to do something. The more people who take action, the more we can make this socially unacceptable. Anybody who comes out litter picking will actually find that there's more than they actually even realise when they start doing it. So this has been a good exercise for those who have come out today to realise the problem that we've got with litter.
All the litter people are producing is causing a reversible global impact. But why is it important for everyone to take action?
It's important to litter pick because I care about the environment, I care about where I live, and I think anybody listening to this should take pride in where they live. We've lost the pride in our nation, we've lost the pride where we live. We need to not become careless, as seems to be some people are who drop litter, but we need to make a difference where we live, and this is all part of it to me.